And we are back from commercial to finish Week 2 preview. And we're going to start off with the annexation of Puerto Rico, also known as New Guy, versus the Soldier. And Puerto Rico is going to go into the foxhole where the Soldier plays. And really, when I look at this matchup, I think it screams the Soldier.
I agree with you, Doug. There's one thing that could save the New Guys the week, and it's his play of running back against the Loins.
Okay.
As earlier, we talked about Michael Vick possibly having the best day ever created.
Yep.
If by chance Vick isn't able to accomplish that, he's not a passer.
Yep.
He's not a passer first, although he's underrated there with that skill. He's a run first, screen second, then pass, deep ball third. A lot of slants, a lot of short gain, for the Vic stuff. So McCoy could have a big day here.
And really, McCoy is more like Matt Forte, and Matt Forte just ran all over the Lions, really, with the screen passes. So LeSean McCoy being very similar to a Matt Forte.
And the Eagles' offensive line is quite a bit better than the Bears' offensive line. Correct. So that would be a glimmer of small hope that the Annex has in taking out the Soldier in the foxhole. And it all rests on the poor kid from Philly.
And really, just to put a damper on that shimmer or glimmer, whatever you said.
That's a glimmer.
Moss is on Revis Island. Now, Revis didn't look like Revis last week. They avoided him, but they had him on the oldest person playing wide receiver besides Donald Driver. But now he's going to be on Randy Moss. And Moss had okay at one touchdown last year, but really yardage didn't have a ton.
Yeah, and I don't appreciate the knock on Donald. Donald's been a valuable part of my franchise for years.
Yeah, hey, it's funny.
He's
when you're out there with a wheelchair,
years old, but he's still a producing person in society.
Yeah, yep, wheelchair and all.
But back to your Revis issue, I just don't see Moss having a great day. I mean, he's gonna get his dinger in the dirt early, give up, the typical Moss stuff. This is 1 week where you say Moss is not my guy.
Yep.
I mean, next week, totally forget it. He could have 40 points, but it's just not happening this week.
Soldier has he's picked up Brett Favre, but has the Soldier thought that Brett Favre and AP working together? How's that going to work? How do you feel about the running back and the quarterback being from the same team?
I don't like the strategy. I especially don't like it long term, unless you're playing somebody like maybe again like the Loins. Or the Bengals defense, or somebody that loves to give up both. I just don't like the strategy of having the same player from an NFL team like that. So I don't love it.
Other than that, he does have decent matchups. Clinton Portis against Houston.
That's great.
And
that is enough to win.
Yep.
That's going to be good.
Well, I think we're both calling Soldier on this one.
I got Soldier in what could be the biggest blowout of the week.
Okay. Next, we have Paper versus Nips. Nips coming off of a shallow performance with the 60 points, not putting a guy in, and Paper being the leading high scorer. Right now, as it stands, Paper will be the second leading scorer as far as total points this week, according to ESPN projections, and they have him beating Nips by about 40 points.
It's a rough start for the champs.
Actually, 50 points.
It's even a more rough start for the champs as they got knocked off. At home, their home opener, they just get beat down, and now they have to travel to the most high-powered offensive team in the GFO. Obviously, I'm taking the show. I love S-Jacks this week. I love me some Knicks and Selleck. I mean, those three, that's a core. I just absolutely think that this is going to get ugly early. I've got the show.
All right. As far as Nips, does he have anything to be really looking at saying, I like this? I mean, he's got, when you think about Nips, got Calvin Johnson against Philadelphia. How much is Calvin Johnson's value hurt now that Matt Stafford is out?
I got a little bit of a different take on this. I don't, than probably what most people, I don't think it's hurt at all. I don't think that Calvin's value was that high to begin with Stafford.
Okay.
Stafford was hitting his tight ends. He was like almost Matt Leinart, Mr. Check Down when he was in the game. So I think Sean Hill can do that. I'm just not. I don't think that it's hurt that bad. Okay. The bigger question to me is, who's James Johnson going to play this week?
Yeah, we saw that in the waiver wire, but
I mean, how's his matchup this week?
I was having a hard time realizing who James Johnson was. I don't know. I really don't know. To the best of my knowledge, he isn't even claimed by an actual NFL team, let alone a fantasy football team. Besides,
FA is not a team?
No. Fort Worth, maybe FW would be Fort Worth, but they don't even have a football team either.
Maybe it's that his last name is Johnson.
That could be something.
And he sees Calvin Johnson's nice, Andre Johnson's nice, the Johnson's nice, and he just wanted a Johnson.
You think he wants a Johnson?
If FA is not a real team, there has to be a reason that he would just go pick up a random James Johnson.
Now, do you think this is the champ's way of just acting again like he has no idea what he's doing and then he's going to come back and win this whole thing?
It's possible. I mean, anything's possible when you get an F- last year in your draft and then you win the championship.
It's just hard for me to comprehend who James Johnson is. Have you seen the picture of the guy?
No. Is it a prison league? FA?
I don't know what it is. FA. All right. Sass versus Talk for their last matchup. Obviously the big rivalry that Sass feels like he has to defend is the best rivalry, which everyone knows it is. It's not a big deal. We've seen it all over the post.
They're so single-minded, them animals.
They are. You know what? And really, you know why they're so single-minded? They're only going after one animal.
Squirrel.
That's all they think about. Anyway, pretty good matchups, though. I mean, they have you guys both rated for getting over 100 points. And you don't seem to think that.
I don't see it. This is going to be the closest game of the week. Mm-hmm. Neither team has runaway solid gold matchups. They're all average to not good matchups. Mm-hmm. I see this game in the 80s, 70s. Okay. But I think it's going to be real close. Very close. Like we talked about earlier with Stewart against the Buccaneers, I think that definitely applies for D'Angelo. Mm-hmm. I think that they're both going to have awesome games against the Buccaneers. But you look at the rest of his lineup, and he's got a little bit of issues.
Ocho Cinco against Baltimore.
That's not good. Having the QB,
Brady
what's his nuts
Jets.
Against the Jets, that's not good. And then having the Jets' defense against the best offense, that's not good.
Yeah.
On the trash side, he's got the best player in football going up against the second best run defense in football. Mm-hmm. That's not good. Ryan Matthews is unproven and had a pretty horrible, rookie performance.
It wasn't that. I don't.
Conditions, I get all that garbage, but it's not what
you were drafting for.
What I know, it's definitely not what I was drafting for, and it's just not good for morale when I built around RBs and I get 6 points out of one.
So is this the game that Sass finally is able to conquer trash? He's lost probably, I think we look in the books, maybe 5 out of the last 6 times. Does he make it that he, was able to beat trash, or is he walking away a loser?
I'm going to say that this could go either way. But I'm going with trash. But a little bit of me is hoping that the Sass wins, just so this can continue to be a rivalry.
Yeah.
If I keep beating them down all the time, then it's not a rivalry anymore. That's true. It's like me versus Bertucky.
I will take. I'll take trash. I'll take trash, and I do think it'll be close as well. Mm-hmm. But I think that the difference maker, honestly, is going to be Legadou Nene against Jacksonville. And Rivers looked his way, and I think they're going to be able to do that. So, all right, well, that completes our Week 2 preview, and we'll be back next week with a review. Maybe we're working on trying to get some better camera angles, some better views, some HD. But let's be truthful. Nobody wants to see us in HD, so the delay is not too big of a deal. Mm-hmm. Anyway, may all your fantasy players be studs.